to The Fitterist Show with your host, Christopher Allen, where we explore the art of mind and body conditioning. This week, Nautilus delivered impressive third quarter results as the impacts from the pandemic changed consumer exercise habits and preferences. Nautilus also launched a new bike to more directly compete with the likes of companies like Peloton. Planet Fitness stock received an upgrade from Jeffries analyst as vaccine hopes gave the company a lift. Can this brick and mortar company mount a comeback while we wait for the vaccine to be approved and distributed? Finally, Peloton teams up with superstar Beyonce to produce a series of workouts with associated music for Peloton members. Can this partnership continue to provide momentum to Peloton? So, let's dive in. First up, Nautilus delivered a record third quarter with its net sales increasing over 150% to $155 million compared to the same period last year. Its operating income, $44 million, highest in the company history, and its adjusted EBITDA was $37 million, representing an improvement of $43 million. Now, its net sales were up 152%, and most of that was driven by its Schwinn and Bowflex connected fitness bikes. It also has its Bowflex connected home gyms and Select Tech weights. So they had good execution across the organization, and they also had some supply chain improvements that began earlier in the year to really drive those record results. Gross profit for the company was about $68 million, up 256% compared to the same time period last year. And those gross margin rates actually expanded quite a bit from 30.9% last year to 43.7%. And most of that was driven by increased full price selling in their direct channel versus their retail channel, which had more wholesale margins. Operating income, $44 million, which is a $52.3 million improvement because they lost $8.3 million last year during the same time period. And net income, $33.8 million versus last year's loss of $8.8 million. The company didn't really provide specific guidance for the future, but they did kind of put a range out there to say in 2020 they expect sales to be between 540 and 565 million, and full year 2020 adjusted EBITDA to be between 90 and 100 million dollars. And they also raised their capital expenditures guidance a little bit to 10 to 13 million dollars. Now the CEO, obviously he was pretty excited about all this. The CEO is Jim Barr, and he again re-emphasized the point that a lot of this was due to the impacts of COVID-19, which changed consumers' exercise habits, their preferences in material ways. And they were actually able, through new marketing initiatives, to attract significantly number of new customers through their direct channel into their brands, as well as it continued to hold and expand their retail channels. The CEO is particularly proud of the entree of their Bowflex VeloCore bike, which was kind of a dual mode bike that combines technology with digital connectivity. You can have a full body workout and a fully immersive digital experience. And it's really aimed at competing directly with Peloton. And the CEO also noted that even though they have increased their supply chain, even with that expanded production and that improved supply chain, the demand for its products still outpaced its supply, and they are entering Q4 with an almost $68 million backlog. It's a good problem to have. Another key development for Nautilus during the company is they got rid of and sold off their commercial brand, which was called Octane Fitness. I think they sold that for, I want to say it was $25 million. So they really focusing much more on the consumer segment through its two major channels, direct and retail. To give you a comparison of The performance of each of those channels, their direct sales channel, $61.2 million, and that was up 278%. Whereas their retail channel, the more traditional way that they've sold, $93.2 million, up 107%. So direct growing much faster, and more importantly, direct gross margins 57.2%, which increased from 38.3% from the previous year, versus the retail channel that has a gross margin of 34.3%. So you can see you got a 24% gross margin improvement by moving customers through the direct sales channel. Pretty impressive as they continue to do that. Obviously, that's going to be their focus going forward. How do they become much more of a direct consumer brand? It's going to come with some marketing spend, but they also have no plans, of course, to abandon their retail channel that has been very profitable and is often a way for them to get their brand in front of consumers for consideration. So even if that first purchase is at a retail establishment, and again, gross margin's only 34%, still not bad, and they've got residual sales then potentially through their direct channel at a 57% gross margin clip. So we'll see how they do as they continue to progress, fueled by the pandemic, and we'll keep an eye on them. And in our second news story, shares of Planet Fitness spiked on Monday after promising news broke regarding a coronavirus vaccine candidate. A phase 3 trial from Pfizer showed 90% effectiveness for preventing a novel coronavirus, and the Planet Fitness stock spiked as much as 29% higher on Monday and is within a couple percentage points of its all-time highs. So it spiked on Monday to almost $86. As of Tuesday, it retreated back to about $75. But Jeffries analyst Randall Koenig had raised the price target on Planet Fitness from $80 to $95. Now, the average analyst price target for Planet Fitness is around $77. But with the stock jumping on Monday, there's likely now to be little short-term upside. Remember, the full vaccine approval process and, perhaps more importantly, the full distribution plan of the vaccine will go well into 2021. So this might be a short-lived bump, but let's take a look at how Planet Fitness is doing. So Planet Fitness just announced its third quarter 2020 numbers, and they were not good. Basically, its membership has taken a pretty big hit due to the pandemic. So it started Q2, rewind a little bit, with about 15.5 million members. As the pandemic continued its path, membership dropped to 15.2 million members, and when Planet Fitness locations started to open, it resumed billing customers. Now, of course, if you're a customer and you're not getting billed, no issue. But once you start getting that credit card statement and there's a bill for a place that you're not going to because of the coronavirus, you start to cancel. And that's exactly what Planet Fitness saw. And remember, Planet Fitness is generally, they start at $10 a month. But by the end of Q3, Planet Fitness membership was at 14.1 million members, down quite a bit and about 10% from its peak membership. From a financial perspective, Planet Fitness reported third quarter loss of about $3.1 million, where they had reported a profit in the previous year. Sales were down 37%. Net income fell 111%. Net income loss was about $3.3 million, down from a gain of $29.7 million the previous year. Adjusted EBITDA fell 51%, down to $32 million versus positive EBITDA of $65.7 million the previous year. The silver lining and the good news if you're a Planet Fitness fan is that by the end of the third quarter, about 95% of Planet Fitness locations were open. So, in theory, this sets up Q4 nicely heading into 2021. However, with COVID cases on the rise, still not sure how fast members may go back to Planet Fitness. So some of the risks that Planet Fitness faces going forward, obviously there's some questions. Is the company losing members because they don't want to have a gym membership while cases of the coronavirus are increasing? Or have members found better exercise at home options to replace their gym memberships? Or in the future, do they want a hybrid, some at home options, and keep their $10 a month Planet Fitness membership? Now, we don't know exactly how these things are going to pan out. It's going to take time to see. There could even be some closures forced by government order, but it doesn't necessarily look likely. While the vaccine is being distributed across the country, Planet Fitness memberships could continue to decline until that vaccine is widely available across the country. And some members may be too afraid to go back permanently. But there are others who will. They will return. They will get back to kind of a normal life and work out at the gym. Another potential silver lining, especially if you're a Planet Fitness shareholder, that Planet Fitness might actually benefit from much smaller gyms basically closing permanently. Some estimates put the number of those members displaced from the collective of all of those smaller gyms around 10 million people. That could be a huge tailwind to Planet Fitness after we have a vaccine and it's distributed. Obviously, Planet Fitness hopes that customers of those establishments might take a look at Planet Fitness again post-vaccine. We'll see how it evolves. It's an ongoing story. And in our third news story, Peloton announced a multi-year partnership with Beyonce to produce a series of workouts for its members. Now, the company is collaborating with Beyonce, who happens to be the most requested artist by more than 3.6 million members of the Peloton global community, according to Peloton, of course. Just for comparison, Beyonce herself has about 155 million Instagram followers. Interesting partnership. But the partnership will commemorate kind of a homecoming season, an annual fall celebration for students at historically black colleges and universities. And both Peloton and Beyonce are also giving away 2-year digital memberships to students at 10 of the institution. So what they're doing is they're providing access to a full library of fitness classes through the Peloton app that can be used with or without the bike. These digital memberships, so these are the $13 a month memberships, and they will go to students at the following colleges: Bennett College, Clark Atlanta University, Grambling State, Hampton University, Howard University, Morehouse College, and Morehouse School of Medicine, Spelman College, Texas Southern University, and Wilberforce University by the end of November. Additionally, Peloton says they're going to build on relationships with each of these schools to pursue long-term recruiting partnerships at both the internship and undergraduate levels. And when the news of this broke, the Peloton stock jumped about almost 5%. Now, this is down from its high of about $136 a share. It's currently trading at just under $105 a share, but again, up 5% on the day when most of the work from home, stay at home stocks have been beat up for a second day based on the vaccine developed by Pfizer. Peloton has generally benefited this year as the pandemic has really sent demand surging for its fitness equipment as consumers basically stayed at home. Beyonce's comments were, quote, "Peloton and I both believe that the power of music can help uplift, motivate, and inspire those on their fitness journeys." I've been a Peloton member for several years, and I'm excited to partner with a company that helps people, young and old, be the best versions of themselves in an innovative and adaptable way. I'm proud to celebrate the students at these Black colleges with this donation to encourage them to find and embrace their own wellness regimens. Again, Beyonce and Peloton are going to work to create a series of themed workout experiences to help extend kind of this homecoming, this fall homecoming, through classes across multiple fitness categories: cycling, running, strength, boot camp, yoga, meditation. And this special content is accessible on the Peloton app, which anyone can try for free. You have a free 30-day trial. And obviously, if you buy the Bike Plus, Tread, any of those, you have access to all the content as well. Look, I think it's a smart idea for Peloton to partner with Beyonce. You're seeing this trend throughout. You're seeing J Balvin and McDonald's. You're seeing a lot of these trends with partnering up consumer-facing consumer product companies and consumer-facing service companies with celebrities that use and enjoy their products and services. So the collaboration with Beyonce makes a lot of sense and should help reach a little bit broader audience and provide some engaging content, motivating content for the membership base. And Peloton should be able to leverage that in its marketing efforts, not only just at these colleges, but just in general. I expect to see probably more partnerships with other celebrities along these lines. And that's it for this week. We will talk to you next week. With that, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to The Fitterist Show. You can follow us on Instagram at FitteristMindBody and on Twitter at